guys, what are we looking at this morning? Well, we're looking at a knife we should have looked at a long time ago. I did like it when I first unboxed it. I put it in my pocket this morning. It is currently 8:58 in the morning. I've been up since 6, so I've been carrying it for 2 hours. And I will tell you, it is dangerously smooth. I already cut myself with it. So this is the Oknife Drever. I usually don't like blue knives, but this thing's got a special place for me right now. Guys, you know what time it is. We're gonna take a look at it from above, but first turn down the volume because here comes a little bit of music. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. Now, I think I said it in the intro. I've never been a real big fan of the blue composite materials on these knives, but they did a really good job with this. This is an attractive knife. So this is the Oknife Drever. This is a knife that I was interested in seeing, and the reason being both of the Oknives, the Beagle and the Drever, are both knives that I was interested in seeing because a lot of times when you have companies that start offering multiple things, so you have a company that is making an item and then they make a secondary product that is outside of that, sometimes it doesn't go real well. And I think they made a pretty good choice. They went with a reliable budget brand in Kaiser. So you're looking at a pretty decent looking little knife here with an N690 blade with a very interesting shape, nice big forward choil, and it's comfortable in hand in that forward grip. You've got a very unique blade. It's kind of swept back. It's got a very nice belly on it. I mean, this knife is all belly. There's a lot of things that this knife would be very good for. We're gonna give it a shot. I've done a little bit of cutting with it, including myself. This knife is so smooth. I was messing around with it. It dropped shut and I was messing with it and it dropped right across and just hit my thumb. So not only is it sharp, it is really smooth. This is a very smooth knife. I'd have to say of the stuff that has come in for review so far this year, this is way up there. This is on that same level as that Vostite Bellamy, that Kubi Momentum, the one that was the Mangana steel design. Sorry, I was fumbling with the name. So you're looking at a thumb stud opener with a flipper, super, super smooth. I've only had this in pocket for a couple hours. I woke up at 6. It's about 9 now, so maybe almost 3 hours. Yeah, it's about 9 now. I know I mentioned a time in the intro, but sometimes filming gets sidetracked. Really attractive blue handles on this with blue hardware. And I do like the fact that they went with a darker tone and they did match your thumb studs and the pocket, so they're the same. Now, sometimes that's hard to do, and I've seen companies try it, and sometimes you wind up with a mix mash. They did a good job. I wish that they had coated this screw as well. I believe this is like a titanium coating or some sort of colored coating. I wish all the hardware was the same. It would just give it a little symmetry, but you know, it's not a real expensive knife and it's done fairly well. In hand, really comfortable. I do have a problem with the pocket clip. Typical Kaiser off-the-shelf pocket clip. It's not horrible on this knife. It's the same pocket clip that was on the Beagle. In this knife, it just happens to sit in a fashion just because of the shape of the knife. It sits in a fashion where it's not a big time hotspot. I filmed a video about, I don't know if it's went up yet because sometimes these videos, I filmed a video about that Iron Man Lotvin Mini, and the pocket clip on it is just, it's horrendous. If it wasn't for the knife being so attractive, it would be a showstopper on that. Same pocket clip on this knife, but just the positioning on it was done to where it's not bad. So if you like a deep carry pocket clip, it's got a pretty decent one and it's not uncomfortable. Handles on it are just about perfect, in my opinion, in shape. You've got this nice little finger groove here that just sits pretty comfortable. Your finger just falls right into it. It gives you a really good feel and positioning. The N690 blade is fairly thin behind the edge. I mean, it's not super thin. I did a little bit of a cut test because I wanted to compare it to the knife that I'm about to film the final review of, which is this Adamante. I wanted to see how it cuts. It does feel a little thicker behind the edge than some of the other knives, like this Adamante or some of the other knives we've had on the channel here recently, but it doesn't cut badly. I cut some cardboard tubes, packaging and shipping tubes, because it's recycle day. So I cut that stuff up. It was stuff I get from my neighbor because he's a mechanic. So it did get a cut test this morning to see how it feels in hand for its first day carry. I'm kind of happy with it. I like the blade shape where it's a little swayed back here and then comes down like a kind of a modified sheep's foot, I guess. It does have a nice little swedge on that forward part of the blade that gives you a nice unique look. I will say, I think that this one's cut a little deeper than this one, but it doesn't go all the way to the tip. So that doesn't cause you a little bit any asymmetry you know what I'm saying? It doesn't go all the way and cut into the tip like some other knives do. It kind of kisses it, but it doesn't cut into it. A lot of times you'll get a look of asymmetry at the tip of a blade when these swedges are done incorrectly, because it winds up that you remove more material here than you do here, and it looks asymmetrical, but when you look at the actual edge, it's nice and straight. So not really an issue on this, just a little aesthetic pop on that great big finger choil. Like that is a big finger choil / sharpening notch right there. It's really good. Yeah, I mean, even with my big sausage fingers, banana fingers, I can get my entire finger clear back here on the big part of my finger in that. And that's, that's pretty good if you've got big hands. It gives you something to pull back on. The shape of it right here, if you were trying to do some sweeping cuts, you've got that belly, you could just put your finger all the way up here to prevent over penetration if you're trying to cut across something that you didn't want to like pop, like say you were skinning out an animal. It's got a nice belly for that. It's nice and thin profiled. You could get in there and do some work around ribs and stuff like that if you were skinning. On the length, it is a little bit on the longer side. It's just about, on the mat, just about 8 inches, maybe a little, just a hair over 8. Liner lock is done really well. It's not got any early lockup. There's a tiny bit of jimping on the liner for the lock, but it's not aggressive, and it's been scalloped up nice so you have access to it. So it's just a little bit, if you're gonna do jimping on a liner, which I'm not such a fan of, this is how you should do it. It's not aggressive. It's just enough to give you a little tactile feel on it. And then it just, you just break that loose, and then it is ridiculously smooth on its home. That wasn't even vertical. It was so you guys could see it, so you guys know. This would be vertical. It's like this, so it's falling not with direct gravity. Like if you do it direct gravity drop, it's super fall shut. I'm trying different positions, but it is really fall shut. Thumb stud actuator on it is good. Detent is not bad. You get a little bit of detent lash, but it does fly open pretty easily. I haven't had it not deploy. Thumb studs are great, nice thumb stud openers. And like I said, it just looks good with that little splash of the darker blue on the lighter blue handles. I have to say it again, I'm not a fan of the blue composites. I really haven't seen a lot of knives in the blue composite material that I like, and this is kind of an exception. It's fairly light because there is some weight reduction milling going on inside, and it's a liner lock, which means that you don't have a real hot spot on that. Like I said, I filmed the Blade Junkie podcast last night, and I mentioned that I've become a liner lock convert. I used to love frame locks. They're about the only thing I bought because some of the cheaper knives that I had with liner locks, they were prone to failure. And now I'm finding liner locks that are good and stable and solid lockup. They're not cheap, and you've got a better feel. You don't lose a lot in ergos with it because there's no lock bar that's going to shift out of the way and give you, well, let's grab this one because it's getting filmed next. Even though I like this knife a lot, this knife has got some ergonomic issues because of that, and you don't have that in a liner lock. So yeah, overall, guys, we'll see. I'll put this in my pocket. I don't think it's going to take long for me to get around to a full review on this now that it's in my pocket. It's going to get a lot of carry because it is attractive, and it is comfortable, and it's got a nice blade shape. We'll see how the pocket clip pans out, but like I said, it's it's not bothering me at all right now. Oh, I didn't mention the jimping on the thumb ramp. The thumb ramp is not sharp. Like, you can get up in front of it and you don't have to worry about that. That was one of the things I said about that Bob Truzzola Tuxedo Auto. The jimping on this is pretty soft, but it's just enough to let you know when you're on it, and then you get over it. It's not something that's going to act as like a finger stop. It's kind of fine, but it's just almost like, okay, that's where I'm at on that. It's almost like an indicator. When I was cutting with it earlier, I had my thumb all the way up on the blade like this because I was cutting like this to get some forceful cut. I was cutting some thicker cardboard. So I'm kind of happy with it. I'm pretty impressed with it. And I can honestly say I would probably purchase this knife. If I was in the market for a good little EDC knife in about the 8-inch range, this would probably be something I would look at. So guys, let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day.
All right, guys, that's it on this one. Great little knife. I typically don't like blue knives. I don't like blue handle material. I like blue anodizing, but I typically don't like blue composites. They just don't seem to have the pop, but on this, it really works. I'm digging this knife a lot. So it's a lot of fun. It's a good little knife. I think they went the right choice with Kaiser to get a good budget knife with some really super action. So guys, that's it on this one. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down, but tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. But if you do hit that bell icon, make sure you've got notifications turned on your device, or you will not get notified of the sometimes three items that go up every day, Monday through Friday. Other ways you can support the channel if you want to do it financially, there's a handful of ways. I have got a membership that is tier-based. Pick a tier that works for you, gets you what you want out of the membership. But remember, everyone has access to my Gilded server, and everyone saves $5 off my already cheap sharpening service. And other ways you can do it, I have a bunch of affiliate links, mainly my Blade HQ affiliate link, where you can find a lot of the items you see on the channel. I'm basically self-sponsored at this point. The affiliate links are what supports the channel other than the other two ways here. So I would appreciate anything you're going to purchase to check out the affiliate links down below and make your purchases that way. And the final way is I have a merchandise store on Ember Shirt Co. Anything you purchase on Ember Shirt Co, I can save you 10% on shirts like this by using the coupon code CrazySharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp. Saves you 10% at checkout. And if you send me pictures of you wearing my merchandise, I will put them in a video. Guys, I love you all. Keep it clean in the comments section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I'll see you in the next video. And a spinny chair was a very bad choice. I do not sit still very well.